Hello, and welcome to the Journaling Podcast, episode 7. Today's topic is Fore indexing and on your journal. I'm your host, Dee, and let's get to it. Okay, today I read an old um, blog post by an author called Austin Kleon, who calls himself a writer who draws. It's an article or a blog post from February 27th, 2018 called 15% Completed, in which he mentions the way in which he indexes, or rather has a sort of table of contents on the edge of the pages. So he has the date at the top, and then he has the first 3 letters of each month of the year. And then he gives himself an allotted number of pages for each month by uh, putting a little rectangle of ink right next to the month. And each bit of ink in that rectangle constitute the number of pages he's allowing himself for January or February or March, and so on. So you can, when it's all done, go to that little rectangle and next to March and start reading about what you read in March. I think that's a very good idea in terms of having a clear indication of which month starts on what page just from looking at it. And also having the year on the outside or the exterior of your book, if you haven't had a custom-made book wherein it's sort of already embossed on it, then this is one way to do it, handmade, homemade. Without embossing it, it's just some ink on the edge of the pages, which is something like a thumb tab, mixed with four-edge painting, but, very primitive. Not four-edge painting where you have landscapes and portraits and whatnot on the edges and gilded edges and whatnot, no. But it sort of reminded me of four-edge painting, very primitive, but a primitive version of that. However, I do believe that this could be an alternative to, or maybe something in addition to, the table of contents that we talked about in a different episode, wherein I described how to create your own table of contents or where to buy one already pre-printed. Well, if you don't need all that much detail of a table of contents, you can just have this little bit of information on the edges of like when, what month did you start, how many pages did you use, what month did you start talking about writing in your journal, if that's how you want to organize yourself. Some people prefer an actual index based on topic, and this is more of a table of contents. So there's another way to organize yourself, all based on whether or not you plan to reread your book or plan that somebody will reread it. This is a good way to do it. So go on over there to the austincleon.com website and just have an idea of another way to organize yourself if you happen to be the type of person who rereads or plans that somebody else will reread your diary. Okay, thank you. Today's been episode 7 of the Journaling Podcast, and see you next time.